Welcome, I'm Cassandra, and this is your general forecast for September 2018. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. So I'd like to take just a moment to apologize to my subscribers and viewers that watch my videos every month. You will notice that I did not post for August. I got sick towards the end of July, and the first day I actually started to feel well was August 12th. And then I just kind of figured, it's a little bit too far into the month to just start now. So I figured I'd just take the rest of the month to fully regain my energy back and continue to get better. And, well, here I am. And so enough about me. It's about you. So let's jump into it. Okay, so for the first card, we have Judgment. The judgment is upon us. Sorry, just a little joke. I got a pretty odd sense of humor. And now I'm in Sagittarius energy, which I channel, so give a Virgo a break, please, if I happen to make a few corny jokes here and there, because I'm finally able to lighten my serious energy when I get to channel Sagittarius. So, I enjoy Sagittarius energy. Now, Judgment. So, this would definitely be about like a new awareness. And anytime I see the Judgment card, I always like to make it very, very clear that there is a decision that has already been made, or will soon be made. And this type of decision is one that's going to have long-term effects on your life. So we definitely want to make sure that we're making the right choice for us and for where we are right now. So thankfully it's not in the reversed position, so I do like that. At least it's in the upright, so it does appear as we're making the correct judgment. Sometimes this can come up on occasion if we might be dealing with a court case, but I'm feeling for most of you that this is just about a huge decision, and also about a change of awareness. Sometimes this can be something like, aha, like, I never knew that existed. It can be a pretty fun energy momentarily, but then it will return to being, more serious. But, overall, this is about making the right choice for where you are, and, only you know what the best choice will be for you and your path and your own journey. So just know that this is a decision one that cannot be undone, because once we set it into motion, it has long-term effects for the rest of our life. Sometimes we can have a few of these throughout our life, and sometimes we get multiple, so everybody's different. Okay, so it is clarified by the Lover's card. So I can already hear some Sagittariuses like, oh, no. Just hold the phone for a moment. Hold on. Yes, this can be about a romantic relationship, but it does not have to be. This could be speaking about a friendship that could be forming, or even a business partnership, but this would be with someone that you feel like you have a very close bond to. Now, the other aspect here is this card is very much about choices and decisions, and making the right decisions for where you are, and making the decisions that are going to be fulfilling. So back to the others. Some of you have made a choice regarding a lover, a significant other, or even, a friendship. Maybe you've decided to go forward in a relationship. Maybe some of you have decided, I think I'm going to walk away from this. Because this can go either way. I mean, we have them both in the upright position, but not everybody's gonna, this is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. So, that's okay. But, they both have to do with decisions and making the right decisions for where we are. So, this is the main component of these cards. So, make the right choices for where you are, and only you know what that is. So I'll leave it at that. Okay, so this would be your circumstances, and we have the Ace of Swords in the reversed position. So we always have to remember that this sword is double-edged. So this sword, it can cut to inflict pain, unfortunately. This sword can definitely penetrate matter if it informs. So sometimes we can be a bit too forceful in what we say to other people, or maybe our actions. So sometimes we might say or do something that might come across as hurtful to another person, even though that may not be the intention, but that's how it could potentially be received. So just a little warning there. Now, with this card, there's definitely a need to be careful. You don't want to apply too much force to any situation, okay? Because we can end up attracting way more opposition and drama, and we really don't need that. So just keep that in mind. Be mindful of that. We don't want to push too forceful, too hard to gain an end, so to speak. So just be gentle. Easy does it. So just try to be careful. But we don't want to apply, too much excessive, force on the situation, because, opposition, we need to be diplomatic. And we don't want to be having arguments with people, because under this type of energy, we could definitely end up in some verbal arguments, and those are not ever fun. So, just be careful. Gentle does it. When it comes to arguments, just use your common sense and, reason and, logic. Try to be diplomatic. Even though you may not want to be. Because we know Sagittarius can be pretty darn blunt. Which I love that about you guys. Because I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but. Don't hold back, So, but not everybody can handle that. So, and to clarify, we have the Nine of Wands upright, which is the Moon in Sagittarius card. So this is a card of we're going to handle any type of opposition that comes our way. We're going to handle anybody that tries to come at us, especially trying to question us about our beliefs, our values. You know, some people can come across pretty hostile. You know, and you know, this could be you, this could be somebody else, or it could, you know, could be a little bit of both. So typically, you know, this is a card where you are prepared. You're absolutely prepared to handle any and all adversity and hostility that comes your way. You know, typically this card comes up when we feel that we have to defend. You know, sometimes we're having to defend our beliefs, our actions. Maybe we're having to defend ourselves. Maybe we're defending our friends, our loved ones, our choices. You know, whatever it may be, it's like we feel like we have to defend. And, you know, we're standing strong. We just need to be careful and don't push too much. While you guys have the physical stamina to keep up and keep pushing and holding your own, but you know, we just got to be careful, because this type of energy can cause, you know, more drama, more oppositions, more arguments, and we really don't want to do that. I mean, to each his own. I totally understand, you know, sometimes we may feel attacked and we may have to, you know, defend ourselves. But, you know, there's a way to defend yourself, your beliefs, your values, whatever it may be. There is a way to do it and still be diplomatic. So we just have to find the balance between these energies, which you can do it. Okay, so the focus of the entire reading here is the Six of Coins. So this is a card where there is money coming in. Now this is a card of generosity. It's like a card of money being given to us. So sometimes this can actually be someone that helps us out, you know, and, you know, either gifts us some money or loans us some money. Sometimes this can be about money that's coming from a will, you know, an estate, something of like that nature. Sometimes this can be about, say, like an investment that we could have made ages ago, and then maybe we get a good return. But a lot of times this is where someone helps us out. But no matter what, you know, I mean, this could even indicate a pay raise at work, you know. I mean, this can be many different things, but the focus here is on receiving money. So for the recent past, we have the Nine of Coins. So this is a very, 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 very independent financial type of energy. This is someone who is financially self-sufficient, financially independent. You know, she has good investments. She's not worried about anything. A lot of times she tends to be single. You know, this could be male or female, but this is probably your guys' energy. Especially seeing this card where the focus is about money and receiving money. So it would definitely show that in the past you guys were, you know, financially self-sufficient. You had, you know, plenty of money. You had, you know, good investments. Perhaps maybe a, you know, a really good paying job. Sometimes this card comes up when we're self-employed, or, you know, if we're like a independent contractor or independent agent, you know, things of that nature, you know, small businesses. But since it's upright, it definitely shows, you know, good money, good investments, good returns. So that's positive. And then this would be your present. So we have the Fool card. So this is where we're getting an opportunity to get a new start. And with this new start, it it comes with like childlike innocence and joy. You know how when you're a child, how, you know, just receiving a toy could make you so happy and filled with joy. Whereas, you know, when we get to be adults, it's just like, you know. So, this is that childlike joy and innocence as well. So, you guys have a great desire to have a new start. You know, maybe you want to go in a completely different direction than you have before. Maybe you desire to travel. Maybe you desire a new job. You know, maybe you desire a new relationship. You know, maybe you want to start a new project. Whatever this means for you, it is a new start. And it is one that is done, you know, with joy and, you know, optimism as well. We just need to be careful, so let me go ahead and warn you. That way we don't have to worry about this card going to the reverse position later, at a later date. We need to be careful of saying things impulsively, and we need to be careful of thoughtless actions, thoughtless words, because we can hurt, you know, each other. We can hurt other people, and we won't even mean for it to be that way, you know, and then that can cause a delay or even more obstacles and bumps along the road of your new start. So, you know, that's just a little warning. You know, if we can avoid that, that would be so much easier. Okay, so to clarify, we have the Page of Swords. So perhaps a younger person might give you some information about an opportunity. Now, the biggest things, when I see the Page of Swords, this can indicate that we receive some sort of secret information, so information we're not supposed to have. Sometimes this can be about spying, you know, like a private detective. Sometimes this can be about us receiving information from a third party. Now, another element to this card is sometimes it can be a flight away from a dishonorable act. So, typically the way I put this is, don't tell mom, but, you know, so it's like someone's did something wrong, they're sharing that information, but they don't want it to be told, you know, to mom. So yes, deception can come up with this card, so there is a need to be careful. You know, perhaps maybe this person could be younger than you, or maybe we're just dealing with this type of energy. You know, maybe it could be someone that is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't have to be, but for some of you, and this is only just, you know, a few of you, this could be about a child in your life. Perhaps maybe they might be going through some things. You might find some things out about, you know, what they might have been doing. And this can be upsetting, because a lot of times when we see this card, in general, whether you have children or not, this card can definitely bring some information. Sometimes it is not always the best. Sometimes it can be disappointing news. And sometimes when we get this disappointing news, we need to be able to react, you know, and make decisions quickly, but we want to make sure we're making the right decision first, because that's definitely been made very clear. Let's make the right decisions. So yeah, there definitely could be a bump along the road with this new start, but, you know, be careful. You know, maybe someone is telling you about an opportunity, or perhaps maybe proposing, you know, a new start to something. maybe just be really careful a little bit. Make sure that there's not any deception going on. Make sure you have all of the facts. Yeah. Just make sure you have all of the facts before you commit. Okay, so for the near future, this is not so hot, Sag, so yeah, sorry, but we're gonna get through it. It's gonna get better, okay? It will get better, so hang on. So the Five of Coins. This is a card where we are definitely experiencing some trying times, not the best times in our life. So for some of you, this could be, maybe you're having some financial difficulties. Maybe some of you could even be facing, financial bankruptcy. That can be really difficult. Sometimes there can be issues with the home. I hate to say it, but this can be the card of homelessness. But, I'm just going to mention that. We're going to move forward. So, doesn't mean you're all going to become homeless just because you might be having some financial hard times, But I have to say it, Anyway, moving forward. Now, take a look at this card. You see how this door is open? There's a nice, warm, cozy fire in there. And she's just sitting on the step. Sitting in the snow at that. She doesn't exactly look happy. Because she's been put out of the house. So, that might resonate with some of you. Where maybe you might feel like you get put out. Maybe someone tries to kick you out of your home. That's not going to resonate with everybody. It's not supposed to. But the people that's meant for, they will receive this message. So, but hang on. Everything's going to work out. I'm not saying it's going to be real easy, but we're going to get there. So, again, trying times. Feeling like you've been put out. So sometimes this can be emotional. Sometimes you might feel like you've been emotionally put out. Like maybe someone's icing you out. That's always a possibility too. And then on occasion, this card can indicate that there could be some sort of spiritual bankruptcy going on. But most of all, this is a transition period. So, things can't stay this way for long, okay? It's a transition point. We can't stay here. So, we clarify, and we have the Two of Cups in reverse. So, yes, this card very much has a lot to do with relationships. These relationships can be romantic, or they can be platonic. Let's just be clear. So, there is some sort of disharmony that has taken place within a relationship, or you're just in general experiencing disharmony, which is then led to the financial hard times. Maybe some of you might be having some disharmony at your current job. Maybe some of you are not happy with your job right now. Maybe some of you might have recently lost your job. This is a card of, things are out of balance within a partnership. So, that could be a business partnership. That could be a friendship. That could be an actual romantic relationship. Now, for those who are in romantic relationships and maybe you might be experiencing some issues, then this is definitely one of those cards where somebody needs to be the bigger person. Just because we see this doesn't mean that it's absolutely doomed. Things can be fixed, but both parties got to want to fix it, because when the Two of Cups is in reverse, things are not being shared equally. And so it's like one side tends to be doing the most while the other side is just, receiving and or taking. So things could be out of balance within a relationship. And, like I said, if both people want to make it right, it is possible, but you both have to be willing to, put your 100% in, and they got to put their 100% in. One person alone can't do it enough. And see, that's the thing, is when this card's in the reverse, it's like one person's doing the most. And that's not the greatest energy. So it can definitely cause problems. Now, sometimes this card comes up when we might be at a crossroads where we're just like really considering, should I put any more of my time, my love, my energy into this situation? So, only you can answer that. And this is why I say, this doesn't have to be about a relationship. This could be about a relationship with your job. Normally I wouldn't interpret it that way, but given the two cards together here, and I know not every Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising wants to be in a relationship or is in one, so for some of you, your lover might be your job, making money. So things are out of balance, and these could be causing problems at home. But we need to find the balance again, Sages. We gotta find that balance. Okay, so for your attitude, we have the 8 of Coins. So this is a great attitude. So this is a card of, practice makes perfect. This is someone who has skills, who has abilities, and they know how to take those set of skills and those set of abilities, and they know how to get recognition and financial reward, financial payment for their abilities. So this would definitely indicate that that you have this talent and these abilities and these skills, and that they're good. And maybe for some of you in a current job you could be at, maybe you feel like you're not being appreciated and valued for what you can provide. Maybe things are out of balance, and maybe they're just not seeing you for your true potential worth. And so a lot of you are going to be looking at it like, I know what I'm worth. If you don't see it, adios, I'm out of here. But, I like the fact that this is your guys' attitude. So I'm glad that you see your own value. And there are a bunch of jobs that we can all get. So if you are unhappy at one, you can find another. You can find another. Someone will appreciate your skills and abilities, trust me. Okay, so this would be how other people see you. So we have the 6 of Cups in the reverse position. So this could be where we could be looking back, maybe being a bit nostalgic. Maybe some of us could be looking back like, I really wish things could be the way that they used to be, within this situation or within that situation. But, we really need to be careful of wishful thinking, because that doesn't really help us in the end. But I can completely understand why some might be feeling like that. Now, sometimes this can indicate that we might have a not so great memory from the past that emerges. So we do need to be careful of that, And for some of you, this could bring someone back from your past, or with someone that has ties to your past, that could actually, make you have those, unsettling type of feelings, and having to look back at things that happened in the past that are just not what we really want to be focusing on. So, It's either that, or it's we're looking back to see how things used to be and wishing that they were the way they used to be, or someone could emerge from the past, or someone who might have ties to your past that could simply bring information that could end up maybe triggering a not so nice memory of our past. Plus, this is the card of dysfunctional, families and whatnot. And you know what? Family's not dysfunctional anymore. So, I mean, no offense, you guys, but, most people have a dysfunctional family in one way, shape, form, or another. So, it is what it is, We all got to deal with it. Okay, so here, this would be hopes, fears. Sometimes this can give us a little bit of insight into the subconscious. So we have the Moon card here. So anytime I see the Moon card, I always like to let people know this is where we need to pay attention to our dreams, because sometimes we can get a lot of good psychic information that comes through our dreams. If you have one of those gut feelings, listen to it. Because intuition can definitely be heightened when we get this card. So, and especially seeing how there is a subconscious link to this position, you need to pay attention to those gut feelings. Follow them, Now, with the Moon card, this is definitely one of those cards where we can get that feeling just out of nowhere, where it's like, I feel like something big is coming, like something big, something major, a big change is coming. Well, if you feel like a big change is coming, this card pops out to say you're absolutely right. It's gonna happen. Now, another side to this is the card, where, okay, it's upright. So the moon is full. When the moon is full, this exacerbates our emotions. So this is where we can see, our emotions are like at an all-time high. And this is where sometimes, we can potentially make a mountain out of a molehill. That's not going to resonate with everybody, but, it's going to resonate with some. So that can happen. So just be careful. Sometimes there can be some issues with not being able to sleep as well. Maybe a little bit of insomnia could be occurring. Or there's too much sleeping, So it's like one end of the spectrum or the other. So, and if you are sleeping fine, then you could be having some very increased dream activity. Maybe you don't normally remember as many as your dreams, and now you are starting to remember a lot of dreams. Again, pay attention to them. Now, typically when this card comes up, I always like to warn, sometimes there can be deception that comes from other people. Maybe some of you might have had a feeling about someone or about some situation, and if you've had that feeling and it's a gut feeling, you might want to listen to it. I mean, I always trust my gut, because when I try to ignore my gut feeling and do the opposite, boy, do I pay for it. So, after so many times of that happening, it was like, yeah, I'm not going to ignore my gut anymore. I've had enough with learning the hard way. I'm a knucklehead, but I know when to stop. So, okay. So, this would be the final outcome. So, we have the Four of Wands. This is good. It's upright. So many times this card comes out in readings and it's always reversed, and then I gotta get up on my soap stand and preach, not really preach, but inform, so think positive, be grateful and thankful for every little blessing, big or small. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Anyhow, this is a card of, celebration time. Let's party. Let's celebrate. This is, we have something to celebrate, okay? This is where, friends can come together, maybe even family, just a gathering of people to celebrate. It's like we have a reason to celebrate. Sometimes this can be about a wedding, that's that's gonna resonate with just a couple of you, but this can be a wedding, this can be a graduation, this could even be a family reunion, so, or maybe even a reunion, say at school or something, but it would have a festive type of vibe. There's a reason to celebrate. Now, this can also be about the home life, and considering, we've seen that there's been some rocky issues, well, then this card comes in and shows, hey, everything's gonna be alright. So, seeing this card in the upright position, this is where we have that peaceful home life. Things are content and stable at home now. This is positive. Absolutely positive. For some of you, this could be about getting a new home, a new place to live. But no matter what this is, we have a reason to celebrate. It puts us in a good mood. So, it's kind of like, you've worked hard, job well done. Now you have a reason to celebrate. Ooh, looky here, looky here. Alright. So, this was really, really bumpy, but, well, is it going to pay off? Alright, so, the World. So, this is one of those cards where it's like, okay, yeah, you've been through so much karmic learning and just learning lessons in general. The universe sees, you've been put through it. You've learned your lessons. Pat yourself on the back. Now, what karmic reward do you desire? This is one of those cards where it's like, hey, what do you want? Pick, because you can have it. Now, the only trick to this, okay, is when you pick what you want, whatever you desire, you have to put the action behind it, because if you don't put action behind it, then it's just you making a wish and then relying on wishful thinking to make it happen. So, well, it is like, what do you desire? What do you wish for? What would you like as a karmic reward? But then you have to put the action behind it. You have to do something towards making that happen. Faith without action is useless. So there has to be some sort of action of us moving towards achieving the very thing that we want, okay? But hey, this is good. This is also a card of self-actualization. So with these two together, this is fantastic. The only thing I would stress is just make sure that when going after what you want, you have to be willing to put that action behind it. You got to work for it. When we want something, most of the time, unless you're extremely lucky, which, hey, a lot of Sagittariuses are lucky, so, but most of us have to work our rear ends off for it, But if it's something you truly want and truly desire, it can be yours. You may have to work for it, but hey, anything worth having is worth working for. So okay, so let's go to the bottom of the deck. So, gonna forewarn you, it's not so great, but this definitely lets us know it's definitely gonna resonate more with the other part of the reading. So, the first card is the Ten of Coins in reverse. So this is like us losing money. Sometimes this can be about losing a job, or, where maybe, especially if you might be self-employed, like a independent contractor, independent agent, sometimes this can indicate that, we're not getting a profit because just trying to keep the business going can cost more than we're actually, receiving. So that can be a tough one. Sometimes this can indicate that, a company you might be working for, maybe they might have to lay people off. Maybe they haven't had a very profitable year, or maybe they've had a few years that's not been so profitable. Sometimes this can be about investments that we've made with our money, and maybe those investments haven't shown a return, which could have certainly led us to this point here. Sometimes this is about us needing to find a new job. Maybe for some of you, you just simply were not happy at the job you were at. Maybe it wasn't fulfilling work. Maybe you didn't feel appreciated for what you bring to the table. Maybe they didn't see your value. Which we've kind of already been over that, but it's just confirming even more. So, I ended up getting 3 clarifying cards that came out, so we're going to go with it. So, the first card is the Knight of Coins in the reverse position. So, with this card, sometimes we have a lack of focus here. Sometimes we can be really scattered, and maybe we're just unable to focus on the job. Sometimes this can be about not following through on things. Sometimes it's about not being able to follow through on commitments that you had made. Sometimes this is about, maybe we've just been a little bit too slow to move on things, knowing that we should be moving, but, we were just like, I'm going to take my time, so, which can make a situation a little bit worse. Since it's in the reverse position, it's like progress is being impeded here. So, typically we can see issues of money, work, new work, just in general important matters in life that could be at a standstill, and delays, not so great news sometimes comes in. Sometimes this can make you feel pretty darn moody, and maybe some of you were wanting to withdraw and be left alone. But we can't stay down like that, Sag. Y'all have your moment, but come back up. Rise up out of that, We can't stay in that energy because it's not productive. Okay, so the next clarifying card that came out is the Nine of Cups. So this is a cup of Make-A-Wish. Yeah. It's a card of Make-A-Wish, so your wish can come true. But again, be careful. I mean, you got to put some action behind actually receiving this wish. And I also want to say, hey, you're going to get something you want, alright? You can celebrate, but just be careful. Don't overindulge, okay? Especially, alcohol, things of that nature. Just, you can celebrate. Have fun. just don't make it an everyday thing, if you catch my drift. Okay, so then the final card, King of Coins. Well, this is a fantastic card. This is the king that you want to talk to when you need financial advice. This is a man that, you know, this can be a man or a woman. Let's just make that clear. Especially if this happens to be someone who comes into your life and helps. This can be a man or a woman. So keep that in mind. So, this is someone who not only can make money and has money, they can make wealth. This is someone who does not mind giving advice and even showing you how to make your own wealth as well. You know, this is someone that does very, very good in the financial arena. And, you know, they don't mind helping out and telling you how to do it, you know, giving you some good advice. So, especially when you get advice from the King of Coins, you want to take that advice. At least, you know, if you want money, you want to take this advice because they give good advice, especially, you know, of a financial nature. Now, the King of Pentacles, King of Coins, he is definitely one that's very, very good with like math and investments. Sometimes we can see him around banking. Sometimes he can be a broker, real estate. You know, sometimes it, you know, can even be a veterinarian, you know, but sometimes he's an entrepreneur. Just in general, he is somebody that knows how to make money and wealth. So, all in all, that's definitely positive. So, and that advice could definitely lead you here. So, things are coming up roses, so to speak. So, it's, like I said, it's kind of bumpy, okay? It's going to be kind of bumpy. But the end result here, absolutely fantastic. I mean, we got happiness, celebration, party time, prosperity, happy family life, happy home, you know. So, job well done. Pat yourself on the back. You deserve it. So, I hope this helps you guys. Stay strong, keep your head up, because things are going to turn in your favor. I love you guys, and I am sending you blessings of healing, prosperity, and love.